Welcome back to That Dad Guy. So it is Friday, February 11th, 2022. It is the time to show you what I got at the mailbox all week, but the mail truck has just arrived. So I thought, let's go out to the mailbox. It is not snowing. It is about 2 degrees out right now. The thing I have to be careful for is not to slip and fall on the ice. So we walk out here. Things are melting a little bit. I mean, you're looking at the snow piles behind me. It's not going anywhere anytime soon, but even a little bit helps, because if it melts off, tomorrow's going to be 8. It'll be even better to melt away. And let's just see if anything showed up today in the mailbox. Seems to be something in here. Oh, there's a couple things in here. I can't get it out. It's stuck to the bottom of the mailbox. Aha, got it. Not ruined stuck, but just hard to access stuck. So all these things came in today. Some of them are postcards, some of them are bills. We'll weed out the bills and we'll find the exciting things so we can talk about those. Let's go back to the office. Back inside and have a collection this week of stuff that came through. All of it is from Swaps and Trades, the only official, and it's not really an official post-crossing, but it did come from a post-crosser. Last week, I show you, let me just pull it back here. Last week, I got to 100 official cards from post-crossing, and this one came from Russia. Beautiful post office card. I called her Tria. She's not Tria. I was mistaken that the T I was reading is actually an I, scripted IRA for Arena short. So thank you for those of you who reached out and do that. I really appreciate it when people nicely correct when I've made a mistake. I know in a video I just made on these things, these first day covers the other day, my brother is very quick to watch, and I really appreciate that he watches out, sees. And one of the postcards I had, I don't have it here handy, I said it was a moose, it was a caribou or an elk or something. So he let me know that there was a mistake there. I appreciate that. And hopefully those of you who have quick eyes and saw, hey, that's not a moose, also knew that too, so that's great. But going back to Irina from Russia, what she did is she sent me a second card. She put on the same post-crossing ID on it. She said she thought I might like this one better. This is a Lord of the Rings card. I do like Lord of the Rings, and it is a very beautiful card, but I have no problem with the very first card you sent me, which was of the post office in Russia. That was fantastic. So to get two, and I'll show you the back because the stamps are incredible once again. The trains, there's bridges. I'm very impressed with the stamps that Russia puts out. I've been impressed with some other countries too, but these are great. And there's a connection with trains too, and we'll see that going through with some of the other cards. So Arena, thank you so much for the second card. And let's get on to the other swaps and things that I have coming. So this one comes from Germany, from Julianne. She's sent me many. It was sent on January 27th and it was 5 degrees. So very similar to temperature what it is now here today. We're about 2 or 3 degrees. So that's great. So she thought I might like this one here that talked all about winter and post-crossing. And so you've got the month of the year that it's winter. You've got gloves and a snowman and a sled and all sorts of items that remind us of winter. The figure skating skates. The bird, which is a bullfinch, or how about a warm cup of tea? So all things that you might think of when you think of winter. So thank you, Julianne, for that. I'll show you the stamp. What's a postcard without a stamp? There you go. And some people even collect the priority mail stickers, so they may want to see that too. It's not something I collect, but it is interesting. The next one comes from Renee Lewis, arrived today. So I haven't even had a chance to message her to say, hey, I got this card. Just got it here out of the mailbox, walked in the door, and now I'm showing it to you. And look at that hedgehog. So she said she got a new rubber stamp set with hedgehogs and thought I would send me the first card with it because Polo is upstairs asleep, my hedgehog, And so Renee knows that I like cards with hedgehogs. I like stickers or whatever has hedgehogs because it reminds me of Polo. And I like to send out messages with Polo too. As you see at the end of every one of my videos, he is included there. So thank you for that. She's reminding of spring is on the way. I hope you're right, Renee. I hope spring is on the way. I hope this mountain of snow outside melts away. Not too quickly because I don't want flooding, but I do want it to disappear and the flowers to start showing up. It'd be nice to see a sign of a tulip. Then I know spring is really on the way. But I don't think I'm going to see those signs probably until at least the end of March. We will see. And there's a good chance that the snow won't completely disappear until May. So if you can believe that. It might be warm out and there may be grass showing, but I guarantee there'll be some parking lots where the snow has been pushed that won't melt away until May. The next card, I featured it in the image because it's a Beatles card. I love the Beatles, my favorite band. It reminds me of my youth, and not because I was around in the 60s when they were at the height, but because I have an older brother and he gave me an album to listen to on a cassette that we put in the Walkman and that I sat out in the back driveway and listened to. And the Beatles always remind me of that time when he had a bedroom in the basement and a window that would open and we would talk through that window. I don't know why I didn't just go downstairs into the basement and talk to him that way, but he used to talk to me through that window and I would sit in the back driveway and listen to the Beatles on my Walkman. So this one comes from Michelle, Yellow Submarine, album cover. It's got a list of all the songs that were on that particular album at the bottom. And then we have the competition on the back. So there's the Rolling Stones stamp. Beautiful, beautiful. And it didn't look like it got hit with the cancellation. So it's in pristine condition. Love it. So thank you, Michelle, for that. Thank you for the continued swaps. Hopefully, if your mailman John knows about that dad guy, he's watching, and I appreciate his due diligence in sending the cards to me when he picks them up, if he does do pick up, or when he at least delivers them to your house and to your father, Ron. So thank you to John for that. The next card comes from Julie Norman in Montana in the US. Some of you may be following her on her YouTube channel. She's great, just like Renee and some of the others that have been sending cards. Here's one coming from Julie, and it's got a whole bunch of things that have to do with the mail. So it's got a US mail truck there, and the mailbox, and the personal mailbox, and inkwells, and cards, and everything you need to send a letter. So, except for a mail carrier. There's no picture of him, but or her. So that is from Julie, so thank you so much for that. And let's show you the stamps, because there's a nice Paul Bunyan stamp right there. That's pretty cool. Like those. All right. The next one is a local one. It comes from Helen and PEI. And this little guy, and it's a Valentine's card. So this is one of the few that I have for Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day is February 14th, which is Monday, which is also my wife's birthday, so I can't forget that. I actually was out running a few errands today, but I won't say anything else just in case someone is watching that spills the beans to her or says anything about it. But yes, Monday, February 14th is Valentine's Day, and it is celebrated here in Canada as it is in many other countries, but most importantly, it is my wife's birthday, so that's why I can't forget it. So thank you, Helen, for this. She's got the stamp of the Queen on there and included some hearts and things on the back, make it very Valentine's-ish. So what does it say? You'll probably get this before February 14th, which I did. And she says that's because we have great mail carriers here. So thank you for that side compliment. And we do. So thank you, Ellen. The next card comes from Maria in Helsinki, Finland. And so she had sent this card from Provo. And she said she sent this card to me in Canada, and she sent one to her mother in Helsinki, and I got mine before the one got to Helsinki. So that is fantastic that it was shipped out, got here. She mailed it on February the 1st, and I got it at the beginning of the week, so around the 7th, I guess. So it took less than a week to get to me when you think of the turnaround time. So this town is only 50 minutes from Helsinki by bus, and the stamp is representative of the town as well. It's a very wintry scene. So it says there are really nice cafes and small shops here. So that would be nice. I love to go and explore small towns and try new food and all sorts of things. So cafes would be great, especially if they have croissants or sweets or sugary treats to fulfill my sweet tooth. So she wasn't done though. She sent an envelope as well. And look at the Angry Bird stamp on that. That was kind of funny. And I like how it exceeds the rectangle, goes out and above. So that's a little bit unique. And inside, pull out the contents. She sent a hockey card of a Finnish player with some of his stats on the back. She sent some Finnish stamps, including the Finnish flag on this one here for my father's collection, so thank you for that. She included a first day cover of the new stamp that just came out. She sent me this stamp on a previous card, which I really appreciate, the chocolate bar. But here's the first day cover that goes along with it, which I really appreciate now that I've been showing you some first day covers and including them back in my collection. So it's nice to get first day covers from other parts of the world too. I've got a few Canadian ones now, not a very large collection, but to have this and see other countries, that's extra special. So thank you for that. I appreciate that. I know Michelle sent me some first day covers, but they were Canadian and I appreciate it. But it's nice to see that first day covers are being issued in other countries too, and to see what they look like. And then she sent me this card. It's of the fortress. It's a World Heritage Site or UNESCO Fortress Island in Helsinki. She says she visits it usually 4 or 5 times a year. Excuse me. It reminds me of Citadel Hill in Halifax, just based on these images, how they go here. But very cool. Be something I would love to see if I ever get a chance to get to Finland. So all of those nice things came from her in that big envelope. With that. So Maria, thank you very much for that. The last one comes from Mexico. This is the first time I've had something from this gentleman. He reached out to me via Instagram and asked if we would do a swap. So this is my first card or anything from Mexico. And those are very colorful stamps. Very interesting. I really like those. This one especially. And so this comes from Bernardo in Mexico City. Let me just dump out the contents, what he has. He wrote me a nice letter that says basically his wife and he are both dentists. He has 2 children, one of them in med school and the other is studying for international relations or public relations. So those are both cool professions, very useful to have. And he says we have a lot of things in common. He likes post-crossing, he likes stamps, he likes model trains. So those are all things. I don't know if he likes Lego too, or exploring and traveling or making YouTube videos, but we do have many things in common. And he sent me these stamps. And he sent me this packet of stamps. That'll be all great for my father. They're all, just show you here, a bunch of different Mexican stamps. For those of you who are stamp collectors out there, or budding stamp collectors, now that you are post-crossers and you're starting to see all these wonderful images that are coming in the corner of your postcards. And for those of you who are concerned about the size of Canadian stamps, these Mexican stamps are quite large, or at least the ones he sent me here. So thank you, Bernardo, for those. And then on top of that, because it was in an envelope, he sent me 2 postcards. This first one of a train going over a train bridge. A very nice image. I like the colors in it. the time of day. It looks like it almost could be a painting versus a photograph, but it does photo on the back. Specific in Mexico where this was taken, so you can see it's right there in the center. And then he sent me this image, which is sometimes what we think of when we think of Mexico. We think of Mayans and all the culture and the history that goes along with that. What we sometimes think of is Cancun and the partying that goes on there, or we think of the beaches and things like that. But he lives in Mexico City. His city has the same population, last time I checked, or very similar to all of Canada. So it is a large metropolis. I'm sure it's got many modern amenities in it. So to have 30 odd million people living in a city is it is mind-blowing to think of the population of Canada. We're the second largest country in the world, but our population fits all inside Mexico City. So I live in a city of about 130,000 people. It's a big difference. So thank you, Bernardo, for the cards. Thank you for the nice letter, all the stamps. I'm looking forward to many more trades. I will find something else to send out to you because I know it takes a while. This package that you sent to me was sent in December, and here we are at the start of February. So I'll get something to you and put it back in the mail. So hopefully you'll have it. Well, I haven't received my first one yet, so I'm hoping that's going to arrive soon. But I'm going to put a new one in the mail too, so you'll have that at least on its way to you. So maybe they will cross. Well, that's my week at the mailbox this week. Hopefully you guys have had a successful week and have had lots of cards, lots of interesting stories to tell. I've had a successful week at the mailbox. I've had a successful week making videos this week. We've had a good week health-wise here as a family. Things are a little bit back to normal. My son's back playing basketball again as some of the restrictions have lifted. People are back in school again, learning. So we are seeing some light. It feels like some of the burden is lifting off of our shoulders, which is kind of nice. So hopefully you guys are having a similar experience, that things are starting to improve wherever you are, and you're enjoying the post-crossing hobby. You're getting lots of nice cards coming in, the beautiful stamps on the envelope, and you're reciprocating by sending out sending out lots of stamps and cards and filling other people's mailboxes with joy. So, till next time, stay safe. What, Polo? You say like, subscribe, share, and tell all your friends.
Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy?